My name is Alex Keith. I'm the co-founder of General Assembly, and we're here in Greenpoint, Brooklyn at the lab. When we started, my partner and I were doing jobs that were pretty different than what we're doing today. The recession hit, those jobs disappeared. So we hit the road. We brought with us our own label, which really was just a jacket at the time. That jacket actually is kind of pretty much what I'm wearing today. And that did really well, and that became General Assembly. Everyone kind of wanted to be ready for anything and needed to be ready for anything. And so the idea that, you're gonna get comfortable rocking a t-shirt and jeans on a Friday wasn't really the case anymore. If you wanted to work, you had to dress like you were ready to do it. And more than that, if you were gonna operate on your own terms and be a freelancer or something like that, then you really need to step up and make yourself look young, cool, creative, but professional. The kind of clothes that we make today sort of play on that ethos of being ready for anything. They can get you from, the meeting to the bar and back to the meeting. They're classic styles with a little bit of creativity and some elements that just make it feel personal, but otherwise, they got your back and they'll get you through whatever you need to do. When we work, we design within pretty much set prototypes. So we have a button down, we have a blazer, we have a pair of chinos, and that stuff is already sort of done. What we get to focus on is the subtle details that make those styles different. And a lot of designers, I think, they try and differentiate themselves and they go too far, or do a crazy color, contrast, something, and it just doesn't work. We try and sort of operate under the idea that less is more. And so if we can just do enough, that's solid, that's what we do. And so it's finding that thin line, which is what we sort of aim for. The collection that we have coming up for fall expands on the same things we've been doing. We expanded the outerwear categories to include duffel coats and overcoats, bomber jackets, varsity jackets, but done with just enough pop to make them a little bit different, a little bit more personal. It kind of felt good to be wearing a button down at the bar like you owned it, I mean, that was our friends, and that still is our friends. And so we make clothing for that. We make clothing for that attitude, for the guy who is looking for the next move and being ready for anything and down for whatever.